Why do some people experience new hair growth within weeks, while others keep losing hair no matter what they try? Welcome back to Dr. Kade GP, your doctor for awareness. Today, we're going deep into one of the most powerful natural treatments for hair regrowth ever studied, a remedy that, in some trials, showed up to 87% success in reversing hair loss when used correctly. And here's the secret: it's not some expensive serum or miracle supplement. It starts in your kitchen, with something as simple as onion juice. But don't scroll away yet, because this is not the old, messy formula you may have heard about. This is the updated version, enhanced with modern natural oils and scalp-stimulating nutrients that make it far more effective and safer for regular use. So stay till the end. I'll break down the exact formula, explain the science behind why it works, how to prepare and apply it, and who should avoid it. Part 1. The real reason hair stops growing. To understand why this works, we need to start with why hair actually stops growing. Most people think hair loss is only genetic or hormonal, but that's not always the full story. Hair loss is often triggered by microinflammation in the scalp, oxidative stress around hair follicles, and restricted blood flow. Over time, these small damages reduce the supply of nutrients like sulfur, zinc, and keratin-building amino acids to the root. When that happens, the follicle shrinks, and hair growth slows or stops. This is called miniaturization, and it's the same process behind both male and female pattern thinning. Now, scientists have found that one of the most overlooked minerals in this process is sulfur. Sulfur is known as the beauty mineral. It's a key part of keratin, the structural protein that makes up your hair, nails, and skin. And here's where the story gets interesting. Onion juice happens to be one of nature's richest sources of bioavailable sulfur compounds. Part 2. The onion discovery. In 2002, a small clinical study observed people with patchy hair loss using fresh onion juice on their scalps twice daily. After 6 weeks, nearly 87% showed visible hair regrowth. That single number, 87%, has been quoted in medical circles ever since. But why would something so simple work so well? When you apply onion juice to the scalp, the sulfur and quercetin inside it stimulate local circulation, boost collagen formation, and reduce inflammatory microbes around the follicle. Think of it as opening up blocked pathways so new hair can grow again. However, pure onion juice also has two problems. It can be irritating to sensitive skin, and it oxidizes quickly, losing its potency. That's why the updated onion formula is different. Part 3. The updated doctor-approved onion formula. Modern research has found that blending onion juice with certain natural oils and nutrients multiplies its effectiveness and prevents irritation and fermentation changes that story completely. Here's the updated version that many dermatologists now recommend for safe home use. Section 2. The updated method: how fermentation transforms onion compounds. In the updated preparation, you take 1 medium red onion, extract the juice, and mix it with 1 teaspoon of sea salt and half a teaspoon of raw honey. Then you cover it loosely with a cheesecloth in a glass jar, letting it sit for 48 to 72 hours at room temperature. What happens inside that jar is a quiet biochemical process called lactic acid fermentation. Raw honey and onion both contain natural microorganisms, mainly lactic acid bacteria and yeasts. As they feed on the sugars and minerals, they produce mild organic acids, enzymes, and peptides. Meanwhile, the sulfur compounds in onion, like quercetin and allyl disulfide, get converted into more stable, bioavailable molecules. Scientists have found that fermented plant extracts tend to show higher antioxidant activity and improved penetration through the skin barrier. That means the same onion becomes less irritating, more balanced in pH, and far richer in compounds that help maintain scalp circulation and defense against oxidative stress. Section 4. The role of salt and honey in scalp microbiome balance. Now, let's look at the two silent partners in this process: sea salt and raw honey. Sea salt is not just for preservation. It provides trace minerals like magnesium and zinc, which help regulate the scalp's barrier and hydration levels. At small concentrations, salt can limit overgrowth of harmful bacteria and fungi while letting beneficial microbes thrive. Raw honey, on the other hand, is naturally antimicrobial but also prebiotic, meaning it feeds the good bacteria. Studies have shown that topical honey can soothe seborrheic dermatitis and reduce itching, likely because it restores balance to the scalp microbiome. So when you ferment onion juice with salt and honey, you're not only changing the chemistry of the onion, you're creating a living, probiotic-rich extract that mimics the scalp's own defense environment. If you love learning how natural science can actually transform your health, hit subscribe. because I share remedies that doctors respect and nature approves. Section 5. Optional natural boosters. Rosemary, black seed oil, green tea. If you want to enhance the formula, a few optional additions can make a difference. After fermentation, once the mixture is strained and cooled, you can add 4 to 5 drops of rosemary essential oil. Research published in 2015 compared rosemary oil with minoxidil in a small clinical study. After 6 months, both groups showed similar improvement in hair density, but rosemary had fewer side effects. It's believed to increase microcirculation around the follicles. A few drops of black seed oil, known for its thymoquinone content, which has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. Small studies suggest it can support scalp health and reduce irritation. 1 teaspoon of cooled green tea, rich in epigallocatechin gallate, EGCG, a compound that may inhibit the enzyme linked with hair follicle shrinkage. Each of these additions complements the base fermentation by improving blood flow, reducing inflammation, and strengthening follicular defense against oxidative stress. Section 6. Understanding the scalp's biological rhythm. To understand why this fermented blend may help, you need to know what's happening at the follicle level. Each hair follicle is like a mini organ with its own blood supply, immune system, and microbial balance. The main reasons hair weakens over time are chronic microinflammation around follicles, oxidative stress from sebum oxidation, and disrupted blood flow. Fermented plant compounds have been shown in several laboratory studies to help with all three, not as drugs, but as natural modulators of the scalp environment. For instance, quercetin from red onion acts as an antioxidant, protecting follicle stem cells. Lactic acid from fermentation slightly lowers pH, supporting the skin barrier. And honey-derived enzymes promote gentle exfoliation, helping unclog follicles naturally. This combination may make the scalp a more favorable environment for hair to grow and stay anchored. Section 7. The sensory barrier. Why fermentation improves user experience. One major reason people abandoned onion juice was the smell. Fermentation breaks down the volatile sulfur compounds responsible for that sharp odor. The result is milder, almost earthy, closer to apple cider vinegar than raw onion. The texture also changes. It becomes slightly viscous, easier to massage, and less likely to sting the skin. These sensory improvements mean people can actually use the remedy consistently, which is critical. No topical formulation works if you can't tolerate it long enough to let the scalp adapt. Section 8. Internal nutrition and diet support. The missing half of hair health. External care can only do so much. Hair isn't built from the outside in, it's nourished from the inside out. And that's where most people go wrong. They fix their scalp, but forget the body that feeds it. Hair follicles are among the most metabolically active structures in your body. Every strand that grows requires amino acids, trace minerals, essential fatty acids, and gut-derived nutrients to form keratin and collagen. So if your digestion or nutrient absorption is weak, even the best topical blend won't deliver lasting results. Let's look at 5 natural foods that scientific studies have linked to hair support, follicle repair, and scalp metabolism. 1. Almonds. The natural DHT balancer almonds are rich in magnesium, vitamin E, and plant sterols that help modulate the enzymes linked to excess DHT, a hormone often associated with hair follicle miniaturization. Studies show that balanced magnesium intake supports keratin structure and prevents brittle hair. A small handful of raw almonds daily strengthens both the follicle and the scalp's antioxidant barrier. 2. Pumpkin seeds. A zinc powerhouse. Pumpkin seeds contain zinc, iron, and cucurbitine, compounds known to support scalp circulation and hormone balance. Clinical studies have noted that zinc deficiency correlates with increased hair shedding and slower growth. Even 1 tablespoon of raw pumpkin seeds a day can supply trace zinc and essential fatty acids that protect follicles from oxidative stress. 3. Histidine-rich foods. The forgotten amino acid histidine is a key amino acid involved in keratin synthesis and scalp barrier repair. Seafood like sardines and oysters are some of the richest natural sources. Histidine also helps regulate metal ions in hair tissue, keeping copper and zinc levels balanced, both critical for pigment and strength. People who consume histidine-rich foods regularly tend to show lower markers of hair breakage in nutritional studies. 4. Probiotics. The gut-hair connection. This may surprise many people, but research now links gut health and hair health through something called the gut-skin axis. An imbalanced gut microbiome can trigger inflammation that affects the scalp. Natural probiotics like kefir and sauerkraut restore beneficial bacteria that aid in nutrient absorption, especially B vitamins, biotin, and short-chain fatty acids that indirectly fuel follicle metabolism. Restoring gut flora means improving the way your body absorbs minerals that feed your hair. 5. Gelatin. The collagen builder gelatin, derived from natural collagen, provides glycine and proline, two amino acids your body uses to produce keratin and connective tissue around hair roots. Adding a small amount of gelatin in warm water or soups can help restore scalp elasticity and strengthen the skin matrix that holds hair in place. Why this combination matters. Each of these foods supports the biology of your scalp from within. Almonds and pumpkin seeds regulate hormones and oxidative stress, histidine-rich seafood builds the hair shaft, probiotics restore gut balance for better nutrient absorption, and gelatin repairs connective tissue. The result is a stronger foundation for any topical nourishment to actually work. The fermented onion formula revitalizes the scalp from the outside, while this nutritional synergy strengthens it from the inside, completing the regeneration cycle that most approaches miss entirely. If you believe in fixing the root cause instead of masking symptoms, this channel is for you. Subscribe now and discover how small, science-backed habits can change your life naturally. So here's the truth. Real hair regrowth doesn't come from chasing the next product or trend. It comes from understanding what your scalp actually needs: a healthy environment, proper circulation, and balanced nutrition.